Hey, Catalyst crew. Welcome to Catalyst Corner, episode 118. I'm Evan.
I'm Jim.
And we've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about some movies. We're going to talk about, got an interesting anime topic for you, and a couple other things. But how you doing, Jim?
I'm doing okay. Little upset. Let me tell you why.
Oh.
So, this past week, here in New Hampshire, Ollie's opened up.
Really?
The first Ollie's in our area.
Yeah.
So I was real excited to go. So I went yesterday.
Yep.
It fucking sucks.
Whoa.
The Ollie. Now I watch a YouTube channel that does the Ollies like out in the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
And they have now again, whether you like whether the toys suck or not, there's like 10 aisles worth of toys.
Yeah, I've seen like a lot of like even on like TikTok and everything, like on the shorts and stuff. Those guys that go toy hunting and everything, like they always go to an Ollie's.
Yeah, one aisle.
Well, what are they selling? Just everything else?
It's like Building 19 or Big Lots.
Yeah,
right. That's it. But it's
just one aisle of toys.
Yeah, one aisle of toys, and of that one aisle, 90% is like preschool toys.
Really?
Yeah, they had like a couple Star Wars figures, a few wrestlers, and
well, maybe it just has to get into the ecosystem of the area.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if maybe they're going to be shipping more product over from those other stores that have just like giant amounts of things. But
from what I understood, and correct me if I'm wrong, I thought a lot of like how Ollie's went down is like Walmart and all those other big companies were like, if they couldn't move their shit, would dump it and then Ollie's would pick it up.
Exactly.
So
it's overstock or overruns or just shit that doesn't move and they want it off their shelves.
So I just wonder if because it's the first one in the region, right, or in the area anyway, if there's just not that stock yet, and then as it kind of matures, maybe we'll see it fill up a little bit more.
I just thought that maybe they would get, they would import stuff, just to make this one have a bunch of stuff in it that they would have not wait for the local stores, but import it from all these other Ollies that are just overflowing with
unless the business model is like you pull from local.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, but
that's the only thing I can think of, because every Ollie's I've seen on the videos is like stacked.
This was such a disappointment to me. I was so let down.
Was it busy?
Yeah, it was busy. But, again, people buying, household items, shit like that.
Yeah,
But, I went for a specific purpose because I'm like, I'm going to, and I said to my partner, I'm like, I'm just going to buy something stupid, right? Like, I'll buy a toy.
Just something fun.
Just so
whatever.
We're there,
like, not that big of a deal.
Yeah, like,
but
I don't care because it's not a collectible. Like, I'll get, like, a He-Man figure or
just something
whatever.
For you. Like, you're going anyway.
Right.
Let me buy something.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's like, I couldn't even do that. I couldn't do that because there was nothing there. It was so disappointing. Now, again, I'm not saying it's going to stay that way, and I'm not saying in 6 months to a year it's going to be just like all the other ones, but, for the grand opening,
it was a bummer.
Yeah, it was a wicked bummer.
Good to know. So if you're in the New Hampshire area and you were excited about Ollie's, bad news.
Yeah, wait a little while.
So we had the con.
Yep.
A lot of fun.
Awesome.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people turned out. You know what's crazy is people are starting to go, I bought stuff from you before. Like it's still not like, oh, you're the Catalyst guys or anything, but like people remember the faces and they're like, oh, yeah, you guys. Like I bought an art print from you, or I bought a helmet from you.
5 years in, and I think we hit 90% of the local.
Really, only 3 though.
Well, yeah.
This is only our 3rd year at Granite State.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So 3 years in, we go to the majority of the local cons in the area. And, I mean, but that's one of the things, right, is it's we go to the cons of the local area, but everybody goes to everybody that's into this will go to all the cons of the local area. So yeah, people are bound to start the recognition because the same people go to all the same cons.
I think it's just validating that people are remembering at this point. And then I'll tell you the best moment of the con for me was this little kid he was probably like maybe 13 or 14 or something, right? He sees our booth, and he comes up to it, and then his parents came up afterwards or whatever, and he says to his father, "This is the coolest booth in the con."
Nice.
He's like, "I can't believe I missed this booth the first time. Like, this is the coolest booth." And I was just like, "Fuck yeah, it sure is the cool." Like, that hit. That like those are the moments you remember. Like, we did really well, which is always awesome. We got to have a ton of great conversations with fans and everything, and that's always fun. But like, it's those little moments, you know what I mean? Like just that little moment where, he's not even saying it to me. He's like they were leaving. They bought whatever they bought and they were leaving, and the kid's like, "This is the coolest booth," and I was just like. Because kids are honest,
right?
And so, that hit hard.
Well, again, it's a matter of we care, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But also, we were that kid going to these booths,
right?
We know what we liked. We certainly wanted to, in turn, do something similar to the things that we liked so that others would like it. So again, it's not just throwing something together. It was, there was a lot, again, we've talked about this before. We would sit, for hours on end talking about this stuff in our car, just shooting the shit about this stuff. And, we said, hey, we should start this, do a podcast,
Oh yeah, this is very much a lifestyle thing.
Yeah. So
but it's just, again, it's just those moments, moments like that, he doesn't mean anything to him or whatever, but like to hear it.
Well, it makes it worth, the effort that,
that
to know
me,
that it was worth doing to start in the first place.
That to me is as validating as the money.
Sure, absolutely.
The money is important because it lets us, we all
keeps the lights on.
We're all, I'm not a trustafarian. Like I got bills like everybody else, so it helps to keep the lights on. But what's really validating is when a kid comes up, sees your shit, and goes, "That's cool." Mm-hmm. Especially because we make it.
Right.
And I think that separates us from a lot of guys.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's what you're seeing, whether it's the helmets, whether it's the stickers, whether it's the art prints, whatever it might be. We made those things with our hands and our own machinery, not outsourcing it, not, just downloading it off the internet.
No.
This is handmade labor. That we spend a lot of time in our studios doing.
Now, there is one thing I didn't like.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this, and I hope if you guys go to cons and you're listening and stuff, this is an etiquette thing. Mm-hmm. If you don't have the money to buy a print, no problem. I get it.
Sure.
It's tight. You paid money to get in. Like, money's tight anyway. I totally get it. If you want to take a picture of the art print, just ask.
Right.
Just ask. If you ask 100 times, I will say yeah. You want to take a picture? Go ahead. Mm-hmm. No problem. Like, I get it. You don't have the money. You like the art print. You want to save the art print. No problem.
Sure.
What bothers me is when people take pictures of the prints without asking.
Yeah.
Just don't do that. Just ask. All you got to do is ask. And honestly, I know I've talked to other artists about this, and it's kind of a 50-50 split. Like, half of them are just like, no, don't take a picture of my artwork. Like, if you like it, buy it, right? Which I understand. Like, again, we're not doing this for free. Like, we pay to be there. Mm-hmm. We got to make our money back. We got to cover our bills so we can keep making. Like, I understand that part of it. But again, like you said, because the kid in me, the one that's like, I love doing this shit, I get it too. So if you want to take a picture of the print, I'm going to let you do that. Like, you want a picture? No problem. But you got to ask. If you don't ask, it's rude.
Yeah.
It's rude. It's rude to just come up and take a picture of a print. I'm not saying it's rude to take a picture of the booth. Like, you think the booth is cool and you want to just far away take a picture of the booth, whatever, do that. By all means, please post it on social.
Yeah.
But when you run up to take a picture of a specific print without asking, you don't even acknowledge us when we say hello to you or things like that. And it doesn't happen very often.
Right.
Right. This is not like a huge epidemic thing. It's just something that I have noticed through the cons we've been to, is that there is a percentage of people that will just come up and take a picture of a specific print. If you're filming for your YouTube channel and you like, that's all good. Like, do all that shit. If you ask us to take a picture of a specific print, fuck yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah.
But just don't just come up, not acknowledge us, take a picture of the print, and then leave. Like
Yeah.
that.
I will say
that shit is like stealing.
I will say the caveat to that though is, and again, me personally, and again, you can, feel free to do whatever you want. Me personally, I would probably lean to the no, but I will say this. If you're going to do that and someone is gracious enough to let you, if you're going to post it on social media, you should be tagging who created it.
Yeah, of course.
You should not pass it off as your own pass it off as you don't know anything about it.
I agree. If you're going to post it on social, you better tag us.
Right.
If you're taking a picture of the art. But my point to it is that, I am much more accommodating if you ask. Just
sure.
ask.
Well, that should be a no-brainer start of a conversation to even see whether you can or can't. Like, you should not just be doing it cavalierly with somebody else's creation.
It's just rude.
It is
just rude.
Extremely rude.
And again, it's not this thing where it's like a huge problem where it's like every other person is taking a picture. I had someone ask me very nicely if they could. Yeah, go ahead. No problem. Take it. And I had a couple, it was probably like 2 or 3 people came up and just took a picture without saying anything. And that to me is rude.
Yeah,
That's
it
rude.
is.
That's
it
rude.
is.
Because, like, I'm already basically giving you the art for free if you take a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you asked nicely, so I'll accommodate you there.
Right.
And if you want to post it on social, please tag us, because again, we're trying to grow this, and if you like it enough to take a picture of it, you should be helping.
Right. And
hopefully down the line those people will go, those guys are fucking rad.
Mm-hmm.
I want to buy something from them, because you're chunking out art every week. I'm chunking out art when I can. Like, we crank it out. It's not like there's never going to be new stuff in the booth or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just something I've noticed that I wouldn't say it's prevalent, but it is something that there's definitely more of than when I started.
Yeah, and I mean, again, we're vendors at these events. You do know that. You do know we're there to sell merchandise. You should not, again, you may not have the money, and we understand that, but knowing what we're there to do, you should at least have etiquette.
Right.
At a minimum.
The etiquette is the minimum,
right.
I think. And I think when you breach the etiquette, that really sours it, for me
Definitely.
and the crew, because we're there late nights, early mornings, working our asses off to bring this stuff to you guys. You guys seem to like it because you're buying it.
Right.
And the only way we can do that is, through blood, sweat, tears, and the support of the fans. But again, it's one thing to ask, and like I said, if you don't have the money and you want it and you want to take the picture and you ask me, I'm going to let you do it. And I know that's a 50-50 split.
Sure.
A lot of people don't like that. But when you come up, don't say anything, take a picture and leave, Like that's unacceptable.
It is
bad behavior.
That is absolutely bad behavior.
All right. Well, let me get off my high horse now.
Good.
You
good.
know, other than that, a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot
great.
of fun. Cosplays were fantastic. A lot of anime.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Actually had a very interesting conversation with some of the furry community.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, like they were picking up a couple helmets, and we were just talking, and I said, "Look, I just want to ask."
They were dressed.
Yeah,
furry.
they were dressed like, but it was like that thing where they were buying. So like, you know,
sure,
when they're buying, usually the head comes off, and so I was talking to them, and I said, like, I hope you don't. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just curious. Like, what does something like that cost? Because the team and I were arguing about it all weekend because we saw a bunch of them walk by, and I was, we would go back and forth, and I'd be like, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 maybe. They told me on the low end 5,000,
wow,
medium 17, and on the high end like 70.
Wow.
So some of these furries that walk by us that have like the the mouth moves and everything and all the animatronics and shit are you could buy an expensive car, put a down payment on a house for this shit.
That's crazy.
Which is totally unexpected.
That blows my mind.
Good for you guys. Like commit.
Yeah,
commit.
yeah.
Commit. That's commitment.
Right.
But yeah, it was a really good talk, and it was like really refreshing to kind of get because again, that's really not a community that we're not. We've been able to, sort of penetrate.
Right.
And it was just nice to have kind of a dialogue with them and kind of understand sort of what goes into that. And it's like, it's like 10, 12 months of some of them make it themselves, some of them order it, and it's like, yeah, but it takes 10 or 12 months to even get it made.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, again, hey, that if you are committed to that level,
right? But I guess my point to it is what kind of blew me away was not only just the financial side of it, but the craftsmanship that sort of goes into these suits is, I think, a lot more in depth than at least me and the team thought.
Sure.
And it was really cool, and it was a great. They loved, like, shout out to you guys if you're listening. Like, thanks for giving us that information, like, and being so open about it. Because again, sometimes people get uncomfortable with that sort of shit.
Sure.
But all right, let's move on.
Sure.
What have you watched?
So I watched only one thing.
Okay.
Superman.
You saw Superman.
Yes.
All right. Let me strap in.
Yeah. Let's do this because we've been waiting. I haven't.
Now I saw Superman in the theater.
Right.
All right. So first thought. Give me your first impression off the cuff.
My first impression is thoroughly enjoyable.
Okay.
Thoroughly enjoyable.
I totally agree.
And I push back on all the things that people said were not good.
Yeah,
because I don't agree with the majority of it.
Same, and I think a lot of it is the Snyder boys.
Sure.
Sort of being. I see. The thing is that Snyder's Superman never felt like Superman to me.
No. This felt like this was the continuation of Superman the movie.
Yeah, agree. Like, this was the closest thing we've gotten to sort of a lighthearted, country bumpkin sort of Superman. He was very believable. Oh yeah, totally.
In both as Clark Kent and as Superman.
Agree.
Lois spot on
Lois. Like after getting Amy Adams as Lois, and no shade on Amy Adams as an actor. She's a great actor. She's not a great Lois Lane.
No.
She wasn't a great Lois Lane ever.
Right. And I they got the dynamic of Lois and Clark right.
Yeah.
Right? Because Lois is very strong, very level-headed.
Yep.
And she does, she
also has the common sense element of it all that I think Superman lacks too.
Right. And she understands Superman and knows how to deal with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she can get both sides of who he is.
Yep.
And knows how to handle both sides of who he is.
Totally agree.
And always maintains that strong presence in his life that he relies on.
And the chemistry between the two of them, Corn Sweat and the hell was her name?
Yeah.
What?
Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chemistry between them two, spot on.
Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Right. There was passion there. There was heat. You know, and they genuinely seemed like they cared about each other too. And you don't always get that.
No. And you know, the thing is, Superman was Superman. To me, he was.
Yeah, he embodied Superman.
Yeah, and you know what? I really strongly liked the message from Jor-El, right? That these are inferior people, so you have to watch out for them because they are inferior to us. He wasn't sending him there to rule over them. He was basically saying, you know, you are a god, you will be a god to them, so you're going to have to make sure that you watch over these people.
Right,
because
but
they're not.
I also kind of like that after the full message got revealed, you know, Superman is able to kind of sort of reject that like, I'm not here to rule over these people.
Right.
Like, I'm going to be my own man.
Right, but that's what I loved about it.
Yeah,
it's
it was
like
awesome.
He heard that message and said, no, I get what you're saying, and you're right in the fact that, yes, I am a god to, you know, to these, compared to these people.
Well, he's Superman.
But, no, I'm one of them.
Right, like, this is my home.
Right. Like, I'm going to make sure they're safe, but I'm not going to rule over anybody or watch over anybody. I'm just going to...
it was awesome. It was such a good... It was such
great.
a great way to kind of break away from sort of like, you know, hey, I don't have to continue any type of cycle, you know, that my father set up for me. I can be my own man and choose my own path type of thing. And I thought that was a great moment. The only things I struggled with in the movie were, like, it's kind of very tiring to, like, I didn't think they needed to split Metrop. You know what I mean? Like, with
sure.
You know, like, that type of shit is so over. Like, it doesn't always have to be this fucking multiverse is causing chaos type of shit. I didn't like that. And the part I struggled with Lex, who overall I liked. I liked Hult as Lex. I thought he did a good job. But when he shoots the hot dog vendor, it almost felt like they were going in a direction with Lex, and I was like, oh man, Lex is a sick motherfucker, right? And it almost felt like they pulled back after that, you know. And I was just like, no, like, he's a piece of shit. Like, don't shy away from that. He killed that fucking guy.
Right. No, exactly.
But I don't know if that was the studio being like, look, you can't.
Or, you know, I could also see them saying, but where do we go from there?
Like how much darker can you really make
so
him?
Should we go that, because if we go down that path, then he has to stay down that path.
But then my argument is that then don't include that scene, because, like, it just gives mixed messages on where his head is at.
Yeah.
You know?
It almost seemed like he didn't expect it to happen, but then it did, and he was like, oh well.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean? Not that he wanted to kill him. I don't think... I think he was hoping that it wasn't going to get to that, and Superman would stop him from doing it.
Yeah, maybe that's a better way to look at it.
You know what I mean? And so when it happened, he was surprised. Like, no, but I'm not... You know, that's not what my intent was. I thought I was going to scare him into...
Right, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it either.
But it is what it is. Awesome.
Awesome representation for Jimmy.
I mean, you know, when... You know, the Snyderverse couldn't have fucked Jimmy Olsen worse than what they did.
Yeah.
And this was a true representation.
Oh,
Superman's
awesome.
best friend.
It was awesome.
Looks out for him. You know, they look out for each other. And again, everybody was depicted well in their role. And the one thing I liked about Lex very much is two things. Two things came across very clearly, which is what Lex is about. I hate Superman.
Yep.
And I love property.
Yep.
That's what Lex is about.
Lextopia, dude.
Right. So again, you can see what Lex is going to do. He obviously he wants land, because the more land he owns, the more power, right? But you can also tell that Lex is going to try to use this. Now, again, I don't think they're going to get to President Lex.
People are upset about... No, I don't think after this...
Right, because he's now incarcerated,
right.
so...
But like, after... people were kind of shitting on... Towards the end, when he was, like, kind of crying, right? And they're like, oh, Lex wouldn't do that. I'm like, of course he would. He was so fucking angry, he couldn't, like, control his emotions.
Of course.
Like, that's a total Lex Luthor. Like, he hates Superman so much, he's literally crying tears of rage.
Right.
Over this. Like, this isn't him, like, crying because, oh, I lost. He's so angry that there is literally tears flowing out of his eyes.
And again, this was so refreshing to not be Batman every character. Like Snyderverse.
There was not one Batman character in that movie.
And that was so refreshing to me.
I was worried that they were going to turn, like, Terrific into a Batman character. Or Guy. Nope.
Guy was beyond awesome.
Home run. Guy was a home
awesome
run. So good. And the terrific fight scene, fucking terrific.
Mr. Terrific, great. Hawk Girl, great.
Yeah, how awesome was that when she grabbed the fucking dude and just dropped
Metamorpho, great.
Yeah, the Metamorpho was a little weak for me. You know what I mean? Like, it was just,
Yeah, but I mean, not a extremely strong character to begin. What I mean?
Right.
So I think they had not a lot to go on, but I think that they did well with what they had. Just the characters were all... Crypto was awesome. Awesome. And Supergirl at the end.
Awesome.
Loved it.
Right.
Loved it.
What's so crazy to me is, like, they nailed this all so well, right? And one of the most interesting reviews that I read after, I saw the movie and then started reading the reviews. And one of the most interesting reviews, I forget who said it, but they were like, "This is the Gen Z Superman," and I was like, "Great,
sure,
perfect,
yeah,"
because it hits so well with the old timers. Because this is like what Superman is supposed to be. He's supposed to save that squirrel. Like, people were shitting on him saving the squirrel, and I'm like, no.
That's what he would do.
That's what he would do.
Yeah, he would go out of his way to save that squirrel.
Right, because that's who Superman is.
Right.
Now, do I think that Cavill's Superman would do that? No.
No, I don't. I think that Cavill's Superman was okay with collateral damage.
Here's the thing. And this is just a personal thing. I think that aesthetically, Cavill nails it.
Sure.
Over Corn Sweat.
Sure.
I do. I think Cavill just has that look. That being said, if you're asking me who I prefer, it's Corn Sweat.
But see, here, I'll disagree in one way. I think Corn Sweat was a better Clark Kent.
Oh, agree. I think the look, the mannerisms, the act, 100% a better Clark Kent than Cavill was. I think Cavill's Superman.
Yeah. As Superman, yes, I think Cavill.
He nails it. That is top tier.
Right.
Superman type of shit. But I would agree with you. I think as Clark, and even I got to tell you, like, the scene with Pa Kent when they're sitting on the porch, that got me.
Absolutely.
That got me.
Absolutely it did.
And I'm just thinking, like, so we don't have to fucking kill him and turn him into Batman. Yeah,
just so we know, I mean, Mara and Pa Kent are alive in the comics.
Yep.
They don't die.
Yep. And that's all part of the juxtaposition to Batman, is that when Superman is struggling, he can go to his parents and get the advice and get recentered. Like, hey, farm boy, don't forget. Yeah. This is who you are. And Bruce doesn't have that.
Right. And but the conversation between this Pa Kent and this Superman was so much more organic and real than Kevin Costner and Cavill's.
Oh, that felt like actors having a conversation. Right. And this felt like a father and a son talking.
Absolutely.
And I'm telling you, that choked me up.
It did. I totally agree with you.
That choked me up. And, you know, that there weren't a ton of moments where I got emotional, but even the score coming on and being the old Superman theme and everything, like, it just... You say what you want about James Gunn, but the fucking dude gets it.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how to do superhero movies.
And the thing, too, is, you know, the other big complaint was Superman, you know, getting beat up, right?
By Ultraman.
But here's the thing. In the comics, he gets beat up by Bizarro.
Yep.
He gets beat up by Cyborg Superman.
Right.
Anybody that's a Superman clone
is going to beat him
can
up.
beat up Superman.
Right. And Brainiac takes him for a spin.
Right. Ultraman was a clone of Superman.
Right.
Hence, he could beat up Superman.
Right.
It made sense.
I also heard people bitching about the chess thing, right? Where Lex would call out the chess moves or whatever. Like, you know, C5. And it's like, why would Lex do that? Why wouldn't he just build it into the suit? And it's like, how do you not understand this? Lex's biggest flaw is his humor. Like, he can't... His
ego is... He
wants to be the one hitting him.
Right. Exactly. And that's why in the next one, he has the suit.
Right. Right.
Because
it's just,
in this one, he doesn't have the suit.
I would say for this to be an... And again, is it my favorite DC property ever? No, it's not.
Sure.
It's up there.
Yeah.
But it's not my favorite. You know, again, I'm more of a Batman guy myself, and I think there's some really good Batman stuff out there. But to be the opening to be the kickoff for the you know, the new DC universe, whatever they're calling it, DC Cinema or Studios or whatever.
DCU. Yep.
Home run.
It was.
Absolute
it was.
home run. And, you know, I think it did financially well enough. It seems like it.
See, here's the thing, right? And we're not going to know for sure, but...
Yeah, you'll never know the real numbers.
It was pulled from theaters early to go to PVOD, right? So the assumption is that the $40 or $50 million that it might have left on the table in theaters was made in PVOD. So, again... maybe a different revenue stream of how it came in, but ultimately I think that it's going to end up where they thought it was going to end up, which is going to be profitable, because then once you get that, now you've got, you know, your Blu-ray sales, but merchandise sales were through the roof for this, which made it even more of a profit.
This is the argument that I've been having, like, about Marvel and about, you know, DC as a whole type of thing. Is you have to look at this as, you know, a small part of a greater whole, right? And with Marvel, what ended up happening was you released a flop, and people forgave you. And then you released a banger, and people were right back on board. But then after Endgame finished, you released another banger with Spider-Man.
Yep.
And then it was just flop after flop after flop. And after 4 or 5 flops, people start going, this kind of sucks now.
Right.
And even with Fantastic Four being a good movie, and Thunderbolts being a good movie, like, you have to do that 10 more times to bring the audience back.
Right.
And I don't know if they have that in them. Now, with this... adoptions are up because of crypto, right? Merchandise is flying. People are buying Superman shirts.
Yep. Guarantee this Halloween we're going to see a lot of Superman costumes.
Right, like Superman hit.
I guarantee you'll see no Reed Richards costumes.
I was curious. I was curious to see if you were going to like it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, when it finished, I was like, yes, that might be... second or third best Superman movie that's ever been made.
By far.
You could say maybe Superman 2 is better. Maybe. Or this. Like, you can have that debate, obviously Superman the movie is always going to be at number one.
Right.
But this is like the Man of Steel isn't even in contention for that second or third spot. Like, not even in contention for that.
Here's the thing: is I saw Man of Steel in IMAX, right?
Yeah.
And I was bored. I was bored. I was like, yeah, that was fine. Didn't love it.
No, it was. I thought it was okay. And the thing is, here's the difference, right? Because both of these kicked off the universe, right? Man of Steel and this Superman are now are the kickoffs to these universes. When Man of Steel came out, I was like, okay, hopefully it gets better from here.
Right. I think it was like, well, hopefully Batman's good.
And then with this one, it's like, I can't wait for what's coming next.
Well, here's the thing, is I felt the same way. I was like, oh yeah, DC's in good hand. Like, that was how I felt leaving the theater. It's like, this is how it should feel after watching a superhero movie. And then I watched the first episode of Peacemaker.
Yeah.
And it hits.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh.
Did you see the Lex episode?
No, so I stopped.
Okay.
So basically I watched episode 1, and then I saw that they were doing it weekly. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to wait so I can binge it. But just from the first episode, I was like, yeah, this is amazing. This is exactly what I want, like, from DC. I don't want it to be so grounded that, like, I could look out my window and this shit is happening. I want that element of, sort of fantasy that comes with the superhero genre. And it doesn't all have to be super dark.
Right.
Now, that being said, when you give me a bat, like the leaks of Clayface have come out, looks great.
Sure.
Awesome. Better be dark and gritty. Your Batman better be, I don't need it to be, super dark.
I don't think Batman in this universe is going to be as dark because they're doing The Brave and the Bold, and Robin is going to be a part of it.
Fine.
I think it's going to be less dark than, say, the Batman, but it will not be Superman.
I don't want it to be as dark as the Batman. Because we have the Batman.
Right. So I think it'll be darker than Superman, but not as dark as, like, the Nolan trilogy. I think it'll be more of the Keaton. It has to be, I think more Keaton 89.
That works for me.
Oh, me too.
That works
me
for
too.
me. Like, because it's dark enough, right? It's got the dark sort of, and again, you have the whole Tim Burton aesthetic on top of that.
Yeah.
But it's got that dark sort of creepy, like, this isn't a place I'd want to live.
Right.
Type of thing. And, Batman's dark enough in that. Like, he's not the Batman dark.
Right.
But he's dark enough.
Yeah.
And I think if you can kind of straddle that line where there's a little bit of goofiness and a little bit of darkness all kind of mixed together, it'll distinguish it from Superman, and you'll still hit it out of the park.
Yeah. And one of the things I liked about Superman were the jokes were actually funny.
Yeah.
As opposed to most Marvel, other than Guardians of the Galaxy, coincidentally.
Right.
Where James Gunn knows how to inject the laughs properly, not cringe-worthy.
But it wasn't all quips all the time.
There was almost no quips.
Right. And
I loved the end there. Oh, he's going to join us. He's not going to join the Justice Gang. Oh, that's an awesome name. Hey. Yeah, you're
right,
in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
not
that.
A quip.
No, that's not a quip, but that's funny. That's actually
but that's what I'm
funny.
saying is, like, that's humor without it having to be this stupid fucking, oh yeah, everybody's Tony Stark.
Right.
Or everybody's Deadpool.
Yeah, there was, again, Lois has some sass to her.
Right, but
it's not the same sass that every fucking Marvel character has.
No,
it's the same
another thing
boring
you know what else,
trope.
though? I really like that Lois didn't have to really get saved in this one, which is fantastic, because it's just like, look, we don't have to do that old trope of Soup comes in and saves the day. She held her own. Again, she's not going toe-to-toe with Ultraman or anything, but she held her own. She flew in terrific ship. She did her part. She took down Lex. Like, perfect.
But she's Lois of the comics, which is she has a level head. She knows what to do. She doesn't ever need to be a damsel in distress. She's not gonna take on Ultraman by herself. That would be stupid. But she's like, yep, I know what to do. You know, she has that capacity in her where she knows what to do. She knows how to get things accomplished. And so, you know, that's what she goes and does. I just thought overall this was an extremely enjoyable movie that I can't wait for the Supergirl entry.
Yeah, no, and that's funny because like normally I would be kind of be like, ah, man, and like you're going right into Supergirl after this, and I'm like, no, I'm good. Let's do that.
Yeah,
flesh out the super family, and then then we can start dipping our toes into the other crew.
But you know what's good? You know what's real good, and I don't know if you caught this or not. I didn't catch it originally, but went back. There's a scene on the highway where there's a Gotham City sign.
No, I didn't.
So the world exists, right?
Right.
So
but that's how you introduce the world without show, don't tell.
Right. So, point being is all of these people, all of the metahumans, which are a known entity, right? They made it known that it's a known entity. They're all out there. They're doing whatever they're doing, right? So you can flesh out Supergirl because, hey, she's been out with the planets with the red sun, so she can get drunk every day. You're going to flesh that out. But Batman exists, Wonder Woman exists, Aquaman exists. They're all out there. At some point, you're going to meet up with them, but everybody exists. Everybody's out there right now doing whatever they're doing. And I love that the world already is there, and it's just a matter of when are we going to meet up with these people. It's not that they have to be origin storied.
Well, that really hit me in Superman too, is that instead of doing the origin, you got the text scroll at the beginning.
Right.
And it's like, oh, awesome. So we're getting year 3 Superman instead of year 1.
Yeah, I want everybody to be
fleshed.
Year 1 to year whatever, 5, 6, I don't care what it is. But everybody should be at least at a minimum year 1.
No more origin stories.
No.
We're good. We know everybody's origin stories.
But do the scroll, like with all every movie should have that.
Right.
Do that scroll on every movie.
No issue with the scroll at all. But I think like overall, Superman, good film. Financially, is it a home run? Probably not. But I think it was enough that it was successful. Warner's very happy with it.
Right. But see, the difference between Superman and Fantastic Four is Superman is a kickoff.
Right.
And not only was it a good kickoff, but you're excited because all of these characters that you've yet to see are coming. Fantastic Four might have been a good movie, but you're like, yeah, but what else do you have? It was okay, but what else do you have to show us? Like, we've already seen all of the best characters of Marvel. Like, yeah, I know we have the X-Men coming up, but it's not like we don't have 7 X-Men movies already that we've seen. So it's like, yeah, this is the 3rd Fantastic Four movie that is out there, and we've seen 7 X-Men movies, and it's like, people are looking at it like, yeah, it's just continuation, more of the same. It's just not as good anymore. But DC is like, oh, I can't wait to see how this character is now.
Is like I'm surprised at how much I'm looking forward, even to like the TV shows and everything. Like I'm really looking forward to, where DC is headed.
Absolutely. What have you caught?
So, I think I told you I saw The Conjuring already, right? Did I tell you that?
No.
So I caught The Conjuring last rites.
Okay.
I have mixed feelings about it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a huge Conjuring guy.
Yeah, I'm not either.
It's never really been like, I understand the appeal. I get it. It's a very popcorn horror franchise, right?
Right.
Like you can go in and have fun, and
Yeah.
I will say I think the nun's design is top tier.
Sure.
Like I think she's a fantastic looking creature. So we watched Last Rites, and I think what they nailed really well was sort of the human relationships. Like, they're tying this all up. It's supposed to be the last one or
Right.
whatever. And I think they did really well with the relationship between Ed and Lorraine and the daughter. And all of that was really solid. Where it kind of... And I don't know if this is, like, I don't know if they spent their whole nut on the nun, right? And, like, you're never going to top the way, like, there's nothing you're going to throw at us that's going to look scarier or better than the nun in this universe, right? Because I don't know if you saw the last one, the devil one, the devil made me do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So with that one, you didn't really ever see the entity, and you kind of saw a shadow glimpse of it at the end, but there was never really this, like, oh yeah, this is what the creature looks like. And it was kind of the same thing in this one. Like they had some ghosts and stuff in it, but like the true, whatever the entity was that was like the cause of all this, you never really saw it. And like the shit like that kind of feels like a cop-out to me, because it's like...
Yeah, they probably didn't have any good design for it.
Like, it's like you busted it all on the nun, and you just don't know what to do now, so you're just doing shadow monsters, and that's kind of fucking lame. I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I mean, if you like The Conjuring, you'll probably... It was better than the last one. I don't know that I would... It's definitely not, like, my favorite set of movies or anything. A lot, they did a lot of callbacks, though. There were a lot of, people from the other movies popped up in it, and like, it was a good... If they don't make any more, it was a fine send-off.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, I'm very much, especially in those type of movies, like the Insidious, like I kind of rope those all together. The Insidious franchise, the Conjuring franchise. But where I think the Insidious franchise does better is they're not afraid to show you the monsters. Right? And you get that with the Nun, but you don't really get that in the last couple Conjuring movies. It's always like, well, it's an entity, and you don't really get to know what it is, and like, here are a couple of creepy ghosts, but like, they're not really the...
Yeah, and that's that's not going to be scary enough. People aren't going to be scared by like a shadow.
Right, and I think that was another thing. I don't know if it's just that the formula's kind of tired at this point.
I think so.
But I wasn't, again, I was there. I saw it in the theater, and yeah, it was fine.
Yeah,
it was fine. I mean, it wasn't good. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was fine.
Yeah.
So that was my movie.
Okay.
And then what I've been watching is so I've been really watching Demon Slayer.
Okay.
So I had seen the first season, and then I kind of put it down. And the reason I did that is because I really liked it. And I was like, oh, that's going to take a while for this shit to come out. And so I'm getting through it now. I think I'm in the 4th season maybe now.
Okay.
And it is. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, the art is fantastic. I love the art style. And it's just one of those things where, it's not as maybe detailed as like a Mappa anime or anything like that, but like, it's just I like it. I like kind of the thick hair and stuff instead of doing like the thin hair and everything, and the characters are all really likable. The demons are interesting. The formula hasn't gotten tired for me yet, and there are moments in it that got me. There were a couple moments that got me emotional in it. I don't know how far you've seen into it, but like,
I've not really seen a lot, but I've read quite a bit of the manga.
Yeah, so I mean, I assume it probably goes pretty one for one.
It is.
So like the whole like train arc, like that was very emotional, And what I really liked about that was, so the train arc ends, right?
Yeah.
And we'll do spoilers, right?
Sure.
Obviously it's
been out long enough,
right? The guy dies. The Rangiku or whatever his name is, whatever his name is, Ron Jojo or whatever. The flame dude ends up dying, right? And there's that that grief at the end of the arc, right?
Yep.
And then season 3 starts, right? And they drop you right back into, like, it's not like time has passed, everybody's got, no. They drop you right back into, like, oh, you thought you were going to get away from this now? Like, no, this is still happening. Like, we're still dealing with the death of this guy. And I was like, this is fucking fantastic. Like, they don't cut corners at all on that.
Right.
Fantastic. I love it. I think it's like no fucking wonder it's doing banger at the box office.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
But that, this will get into the sort of the last topic that I wanted to talk about. So Oda, who does One Piece,
Yeah.
was just they didn't put out the last One Piece because of his health.
Yeah.
And it just got me thinking about how, and obviously for us it's much lesser and everything like that, but like I think people sort of discount like the toll that this kind of stuff takes to make.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
yes.
And again, I'm not comparing myself or you to these motherfuckers that are literally dropping dead doing this stuff, but to a lesser extent, there is that, like, I get it. I understand, like, the thought process that these guys are going through.
Sure.
And it's not an isolated thing. Like, Berserk, dead.
Yep.
His heart blew up. Dragon Ball Z, dead. Like, these guys are literally dying because they work so hard to get this shit out. And like, I don't know, I was just curious if you had the same kind of, because like when I read that Oda was not doing well, I was like, bro, you gotta breathe, like, because if you don't breathe,
right,
like, it'll eat you.
Well, but see, that's the big difference, right? Because and it's a cultural thing, right? And I'm whatever, say what you can have your own decisions about how the cultures are and whether you agree or disagree with the cultures. In Western comics, if you miss a deadline, you miss a deadline. Yes, it's not good. They're not happy, but you miss a deadline, you miss a deadline. For manga, there is no such thing as missing a deadline.
No, there's not.
Like,
there's not.
You like, whatever you need to do, like, again, if you are in a room for a month straight to get it out, and you don't eat, and you don't see your family, and you don't see sunlight, that's your problem. You committed to doing this, and you will get it done. There is no excuse you're going to give me that you're not going to get it done. And they know that that's what they're under.
But I think it's even deep. I think it even goes deeper than that. And it's just that, there's that element of it where there's literally, you cannot fail.
Right.
Right. But there's also that creator spirit type of thing, especially when you start to get to that level, right? Where it's just like, I told you the most discouraging thing that I ever heard was when Leonardo da Vinci died. He said, I've ashamed God because my work didn't reach the level that it could have. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, there's always that, and as someone, and again, I'm a baby compared to these guys, but as someone that does create yourself as well, I think there always is that sort of pull of, man, if I drew for another hour, or if I just pushed a little harder, it would be better. It would be where I needed it to be. And again, I think there's levels to that. So like when I see these guys, it's just like I understand it, man. Like, but you gotta breathe.
But see, here also is the difference, right? So what I just described is, that's what you need to do to become successful, right?
Right.
Here's the big difference. If once you get to that certain level, let's say a Jim Lee or a Todd McFarlane, right?
You can miss a deadline.
Not only you can miss a deadline, you could take the year off if you want.
Right, and people will just suck it up.
But for them, they can't stop doing it,
right,
even at that level.
Right.
Even
there's a
the
difference.
Jim Lee of manga is still in the basement working every minute of his life because they can't stop doing that.
And to me, that hits so much harder to me because I love doing this. I love doing it. I love it. And I can't stop doing it. I've had to my partner has had to sit me down and be like, you cannot stay up till 4 a.m. doing this shit. You're going to die.
Right.
And it's just like, I've gotten better. Like, thank God, I've gotten better at I've given myself, for the most part, weekends back. Mm-hmm. That was I can't even describe, how hard it was the first time I was like, I'm not going to do any work on the weekend.
But here's the difference. What you described is, right, she sits you down, right, and you say to yourself, yeah, you're right. You're right. I have to, right? I got to take a little bit of a break. I can't. With them, it's like, I understand I'm going to die, and if I die, I die.
Right,
it doesn't matter.
I get it. And when we first started Catalyst, I was like, if this kills me, it kills me.
Right.
Right? I think having sort of that Western upbringing and having people from the outside pull me back, I'm able to go, yeah, you're right. I should take a breath. But I get it. Because the thing is that, if she didn't sit me down or outside forces didn't, tell me to pull back or things like that, I would be here all the time, doing this all the time, forgetting to eat. The work has to get done. Right. And it's just incredible to me that these guys, I'm glad he missed the dead. Take a fucking breath, bro. You have to, because you can't. What are you gonna do? Not finish?
Right. But the thing about it is, it no matter how many of them die young, it will not deter.
And I don't think it'll ever stop.
Of the others.
No, it'll never stop.
No, it'll never stop. And that's culturally, I think that they won't allow it to stop. You know what I mean? I don't think that that's an option. I don't think that they're going to implement.
Well, I think to a degree, because I think if you look at sort of the reactions from the suits, right? When you get to a level like Oda, right? They want him to take they're like, bro, you have one of the most popular mangas out there. Don't die. You're making us all this money. If you have to take a break, take a break. I think there is that sort of Oda missed the deadline, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. It's not like they're not going to keep churning out One Piece, right? And I think for the suits, he's more valuable to them alive.
Right. But that's gotten to a point where
that's
that
you're
can
talking
keep
about
churning.
the top.
Yeah. I mean, somebody else could step in. If he were to die and they want that property to keep going,
sure,
somebody could step in and keep that property going. Because it's at such a high level right now.
Maybe.
Well, even if it fails, right? Even if somebody doesn't do as well, right? There's still so much that property is never going to go away. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where if it ends, it's not going to end. It's it'll always be in production.
I just think it's so interesting that being tapped into sort of this world and stuff, and seeing what those guys put themselves through. Trying to explain that to my father or something would be so overhit. I don't think he would ever fucking grasp that that's what's going on.
No.
For manga books, yeah, these guys are literally working themselves to death to put this shit out. And that's the thing is I've always said this about art, and I believe it to this day, is that no matter what culture you're from, if you're an artist and you're not careful, the art will eat you.
Sure.
And whether that's music or it'll eat you. It just will. It's just the nature of the beast.
Right.
And I was just fascinated because, again, it's a big story that he missed that deadline, like, because...
Yeah. But, to your point, right, it's well, if he dies, it could end, so he's more valuable to us alive. So even by missing a deadline, if we get another 10 years out of him, that's far better than him dying right now and then the possibility of it ending right now. Because, as I said, you could probably install somebody else in it and it can keep going for a little while, and it may or may not end because they're not as good. But they're not going to take that chance. Not at the level that this thing is at.
Yeah.
This is the peak right now for this.
I just think it's just so fascinating to me. And again, I think part of it is the culture, but I think there is a part of it with these guys that, like, they can't, like, let go.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
like,
look at what's his name from Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, Miyazaki.
He's
right.
80 something years old,
that's
right?
That's what I'm saying is, like, I think with and maybe I don't think this is unique to Japanese. I just think it's maybe over amplified or whatever. Like, they can't not do this shit.
Right. Well, I mean, look at it. He put out The Boy and the Heron, right?
Yeah.
Final movie until it wasn't.
You know,
right. Like, well, yeah, I got another one in me. So there's another one coming.
And the motherfucker is just chain smoking cigarettes.
But that's the thing. That it's all. But that's the mentality. I have another one in me.
Right, and I just think it's so interesting, and like, it's very interesting to find a group of people, and I think this goes for a lot of artists, that whether they make it, quote unquote, or not, they're going to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very unique to this space. Like, I don't think there's a lot of spaces where it's like, well, whether I make it or not, I'm going to put the work in. And even if I make it, even if I become the next Oda, I'm going to work myself into a fucking early grave.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I just watched a video from Scotty Young.
Yeah.
And basically, that was, in a nutshell, what he said is, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, get the work done. Like, put the work out and get it done.
Right.
If it sucks, it sucks. Who cares?
Well, just work on something else.
But it's the work getting out is the important thing. It's, again, if you want to sit there and try to curate it for the rest of your life to try to make it the best it ever can be, and then it never sees the light of day, who cares? His thing is, you got to keep just churning out work. Hopefully something hits for you, but it's the work getting out that's important, not the actual product.
Well, that's the thing that, not to bring it back to the con, but I had a woman come up to the booth early on, and we were talking, and she was very nice, and she's like, I told her we were in the Manchester market and everything, and she's like, I really wanted to do something like that or whatever. She's like, I make whatever, and she showed me what she made and stuff, and I told her, I was like, yeah, you can do it, and she's like, oh, I don't know, and I'm like, no. You just have to do it.
Right.
Like, I was like, she's like, yeah, but like, I look at your stuff and I'm like, this didn't happen overnight. And like, it only happened because we did it.
Right.
Like, if we didn't take that first step, there's no way to grow it at all unless you take the step and put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I talked to her a bit more, and she emailed me actually the other day, like, asking for advice, and it's just like, there's that level of imposter syndrome that I think everybody everywhere faces, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't have any fucking advice from you. We're flying by the seat of our pants with all this shit, but it seems to be working. So, I mean, if you want the real advice, and this goes for like everybody out there, you just have to do it.
Right.
You just have to put the work out there. And whether that's a piece of art or an animation or a movie or whatever, like, you just have to make it and put it out there.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't create itself, right? So, meaning you have to put the time in to put the work in. Like, again, if you're gonna come at it half-assed or lazy, you're not gonna be successful. Like,
no. I mean, that I agree, and I think you see that even on the business side of things with like sort of the issues that Etsy's running into now is that. A lot of YouTube gurus came on and told all these people that they can make $5,000 a month doing print on demand from digital files that they've never made. Just buy the digital file and people will buy it. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. Maybe 10 years ago, that's how it works because it was a new model. But like those shops are established now. So they have the stranglehold on that particular thing. And it's so saturated and so boring that no, there's you can't half-ass your way into this business anymore.
No, but you have to put the work in.
And it's the same thing with AI art.
Yeah.
Like people are so anti-AI because it's like for those of us that have sat drawing on Procreate, drawing on a paper and pad, drawing in Illustrator or in Photoshop, like we know how much time it takes to develop those skills. And they are skills that anyone can develop. It's not
Sure.
like you're special.
Right.
But I think that's where a lot of the AI hate comes from is just like, you're stealing hours of suffering and refining and skills from people. And the slop that you're producing all kind of looks the same. Mm-hmm. And none of it is very good.
Right. But yeah, I mean, but if you want to do it, if you like to make widgets or whatever it is that you want to make, the thing is, it's, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make it. Okay, how many are you making tomorrow? Tomorrow? Yep.
Yeah, that's how it works.
How many are you making the next day?
That's how it works.
Oh, I made this one. I'm going to see how it goes. Nope. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
That every day, every week, whatever it might be, you'd better be producing that stuff and you'd better be getting it out for the public to see. It's not like you do one and let's see what happens. Show, again, don't go to your wife, your husband, your mother, your father. Don't ask them because they're going to tell you it's great.
You need strangers to tell you the honest truth.
Right. Get on the internet, get on social media, post your thing.
And get ready to get destroyed.
Right. Or ignored.
Right.
Or completely ignored.
Right. And so that's the trick of all of this is that you have to if you get destroyed or ignored and you say, all right, I quit, then this wasn't for you.
Right.
But if you get destroyed or ignored and you keep going, well, then you might be onto something.
Right. And then, again, if there's constructive criticism, take it, incorporate it, make it a little bit better than it was before, and then and then show that off and then see what happens.
But you do have to start. Like that's the thing, and that's what I said to her is I was like, you just have to. I said, I know it's scary and I know, it can be expensive and things like that, but like unless you take that first step, you'll be paralyzed. Mm-hmm. You'll never know what you're actually, if you're actually going to be able to do it or anything until you actually do it.
Right. And the thing is, you look around and you say, oh, I wish I could. Well, there's 100 vendor booths here. That's 100 plus people that did it. Like, it's not a rare thing. Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of, the difference between them and you is we did it. Like, we put the time, the effort, the blood, sweat, the tears, the money.
But that doesn't make us special.
It doesn't make us special. It makes us that we did it.
Right. So, like...
Because we believed in what we were doing.
Right.
And we put the effort to make it happen.
But if you are truly passionate about it, just do it.
Right.
And again, I don't gatekeep. Maybe to a fault, but like I've always been of the mind that the work will speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need to hide, any tip. Like if I know a tip or trick and you ask for advice, I'll give it to you.
Sure.
Because my shit's better than yours, right? And if it's not, then good for you. You beat me. But I'm always under that impression of our shit is always going to be the best. Like I don't worry about competition. I don't worry about it. Like if you haven't started and you come up to the booth and you say, "Hey, how do I get started?" I'll tell you what the cheapest show is. Like fucking do this. Here's the cheapest show. Get in. Mm-hmm. Get in, because at the end of the day, I believe in what we're doing, and whether you're here or not is not going to make a difference to me. But if it's truly something you want to do, I'll help you in any way I can, because we never got any of that type of
right. Yeah, and if you and again, if you start making excuses for why you can't, then don't even bother, because you're not going to have any success. It's like, well, I can't, my weekends, I can't go to the cons on the weekend, or I can't, do a podcast at night, or I can't, spend, 5 hours to make a piece of art. Oh, then don't do it, because that's what it
that's what it takes.
That's what it takes, and that's what you're going to need to do. And if you're serious about it and you're committed to doing it, then do it, because again, we're not, what we're doing is nothing special. It's not original. It's not unique. But we're doing it. But we're doing it, and we have things that are successful for the fact that we believe in what we're doing, and other people are believing in what we're doing, and that's why things are happening.
But you got to believe in yourself first,
but,
and because that's the thing, is it'll crush you if you go into this half-assed, or if you go into this doubting all the time. And don't get me wrong, there were days,
of course,
where I wake up and I go, oh, I made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think, if you can get yourself on a path like this and you can grind it out, it's very satisfying.
Yeah. I mean, again, everybody goes through that. There are days I wake up, I don't feel like drawing today, but guess what? I know I need to. So you do it. Or you don't want to make this, whatever it might be. We don't want to make one of the helmets, or we don't want to make a T-shirt, or whatever it might be. But we know we need to.
Right. Like if people had any idea how many hours I spend fixing the equipment and shit, it's like I wanted to do art.
Right.
But it's like, well, I got to fix the T-shirt printer, and it's like, okay, and if I don't do it, then the T-shirts don't get me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, there's just there is a certain grit required to do it, and this isn't even exclusive to the art world. This is any type of entrepreneurial sort of path that you want to take. There is some grit required to sort of see it through, but if you believe in yourself, I think with hard work and all that bullshit, you'll
but it's going to take it sometimes it takes long hours. It takes commitment. It takes
blood, sweat, tears,
it takes
money,
going, fighting through not wanting to do it that day, fighting through mental blocks, especially with art, right? Getting a mental block of not wanting to draw, knowing what to draw.
But it's also learning. It's also learning. It's learning how to, and this is a more like specific thing, is like when you get blocked, how you get unblocked is different than how I get unblocked.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But it's also identifying, like, hey, if I got to take a day, if I'm blocked, like it personally, if I'm blocked, I stop.
Right.
Because I'm like, I can't, it's not going to, if I don't, like, I can't bang my head through the wall. I'll just stay blocked. So what I do is I'll put it away. And I'll go fix the equipment, or I'll go do something else.
Oh no, absolutely. I totally agree with you. But the thing is, you have to come back to it, and you got to fight
That's
through it.
That's the hardest part.
However you fight through it, you have to fight through it. Whether it's take a day, take an hour, go for a walk for an hour, go get a bite to eat, whatever it is that you use to fight through whatever it is you're fighting through. Figure that out and do that. But if you walk away for days, and then a week comes, it's like, no, that's not going to work. Like, you have to be committed to doing it and seeing it through. And if you can easily give up on it, then it's probably not for you.
All right, so that's enough motivational speak.
Yes.
With all of that, let's put this one to bed.
Sure.
Jim, as always, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
What do you got going?
I'm working through getting that art out. Check keep your eye on the socials. There might be a little something coming soon.
Ooh.
So keep your eyes peeled. I got some things in the works. So definitely
check a little something.
Yeah, definitely check the socials because they'll be on the lookout for just the artwork that comes out.
All right, guys, so that's episode 118 of The Corner. You know where we're at. CatalystCrafting.com is the main website. Catalyst Creations NH is the Etsy store. We're in the Manchester Craft Market at the Manchester, New Hampshire Mall. We're going to be at Rhode Island Comic Con from November 7th to 9th. If you're going to be in the area, come by, say hi, meet some celebrities, grab some cool shit from us.
Absolutely.
And then we have New England Comic Con at the end of November as well. But what do you guys think? Do you think Superman is the kickoff to maybe the greatest DC Studios run ever?
Perhaps.
Did you see the last rites, the Conjuring last rites? Do you think it's a good send-off for the Conjuring series? What are your thoughts on Demon Slayer? I mean, is it... I think it's great. Is it as... I always get frustrated when... people are always like, yeah, this is really good. And you're like, yeah, but is it? It is. It is. It's good. But if you don't think so, let us know why. And... what are your thoughts on manga creators working themselves to death? And do you think that if you're not careful, the art can eat you whole? Let us know in the comments. All right, crew. Catch you on the next one.